I'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight for our Scouts BSA webinar. We've got a lot of great camps that we'd love to talk to you about and give you a little bit more information. As you can see, we've got a panel list of experts here in front of y'all. So let me start us off with introductions. My name is Eric Smith. I am the Director of Camping for NCAC, and I will pass it off to Sarah.
My name is Sarah Moses. I'm the camping specialist for Goshen Scout Reservation. So if you have any questions about registration, I'm that person. So I'm going to turn it over to Avery.
Hi, I'm Avery. I am the camp director at Camp Bowman in Goshen Scout Reservation. If you have any questions regarding the program at Goshen or specifically Bowman, please let me know. I'll pass it off to Talbot.
Great, thanks, Avery. My name's Talbot Taylor, and I'm the camp director down at Camp Marriott at Goshen Scout Reservation. I'm looking forward to talking about camp a bit with you all tonight, and we're real excited for this summer.
And I'm Tom Van Patten. I'm the camp director at Camp Olmstead down at Goshen Scout Reservation, and I'll also be running us through our presentation tonight. We've got some wonderful folks joining us from some of our programs that weren't at Goshen, though, so I'll pass it over to Kurt.
Good evening. My name is Kurt Yankaskis. I'm the camp director for Camp Catoctin, located in Frederick County, Maryland, and it's great to be here. David, your turn.
Hi, I'm Dave Seitz. I'm the camp director for the Merit Badge Specialty Camp at Camp Snyder. Excited to be here.
All right. Well, with our panel, we will have questions at the end of my presentation, and the appropriate people will answer questions depending on what programs you all are asking about. So I'll dive into the presentation now. All right. So summer camping with NCAC, we are talking about tonight Scouts BSA. All right. So what does Scouts BSA summer camping look like at NCAC? We have tons of options for you all this summer. So the first one that I will talk about are the Scouts BSA camps that we have down at Goshen Scout Reservation. All right. We have 3 camps that offer Scouts BSA programs: Camp Bowman, Camp Marriott, and Camp Olmstead. Each of these camps run 5 one-week sessions this summer. The first session starting on June 26th and the last one ending on July 30th. They run from Sunday to Saturday each of those weeks. A few highlights about the dining options at these camps. Bowman is a patrol cooking camp, so all of the scouts cook all of their meals, prepare all their food 3 times a day. They pick up their food and take it back to their campsites and prepare it. Marriott, we have this patrol cooking option as well, and we also have an option called heater stack, where the food is already prepared for you and you pick it up at the commissary and you take it back to your campsites to eat, and then you're just responsible for basic KP from that. And then at Camp Olmstead, we have a dining hall, a beautiful dining hall in Forster Hall. All right. Next up, we have Camp Catoctin BSA. This is a specialty 1-week program that runs August 7th through 13th. And then we also have the Scout Specialty Week at Snyder, which is July 17th to July 23rd. And I'm going to talk about all these camps and programs a little bit more on the coming slides. All right, so to talk a little bit more in depth about Camp Bowman, as I mentioned, it is a patrol cooking camp that has all of your essentials of a wonderful Scouts BSA program. What we offer at the 3 Scouts BSA camps at Goshen is a first-year program of sorts, which is for people who are either maybe new to camping or new to the scouting experience. This is generally for people in the 11-ish age range, but there's no strict caps or requirements. It's also not required to participate if it is a Scouts first-year camp. Bowman has relatively recently added the new culture craft program area, which offers things like chess, communication, archaeology, a variety of different merit badges on that front. At Camp Bowman, or excuse me, at Camp Marriott, that's the home of Goshen's provisional camping program. So if you don't have a troop that you can go to, or maybe your troop is heading to another camp this summer, but you or one of your scouts still wants to come join us at Goshen, they can camp provisionally with us at Marriott, where you don't need a full troop and full contingent of adult leaders in order to come camp with us. Also, Camp Marriott, we have the Guild program area, which is a very exciting program area that covers all sorts of trade skills, such as automotive maintenance, home repair, welding, things of that sort. Really exciting program area with a lot of essential life skills being taught there. And then finally, we've got Camp Olmstead. It's the only camp with a dining hall, the only Scouts BSA camp, excuse me, with the dining hall at Goshen, and it is a beautiful dining hall where we serve you all of your meals already prepared for you, and it is a easy breezy, beautiful experience. Which I will be joining you for all the meals in that dining hall if you happen to be camping with us at Olmstead this summer. Also at Olmstead, we have the Booz Allen Hamilton Technology Center, where we teach merit badges such as space exploration, robotics, game design, aviation, and a variety of other similar badges, so Scouts can get that awesome outdoor experience coming down to Goshen, getting into the wilderness, but they can still explore some of the STEM subjects that they find interesting. At the Scouts BSA camps at Goshen, we have a variety of shared programs between all the different camps. The first one is the ATV program. This is for people who are 16 or older coming to a camp with us, and it is it's an opportunity for Scouts, instead of taking merit badges all morning or all afternoon, they can opt for one of those time periods all week to be a time where they can learn how to ride ATVs, both first on a closed course and then doing some trail riding afterwards. This is based out of Olmstead, but anybody camping at Olmstead, Marriott, or Bowman can participate in this program. If you're camping at Olmstead, you can walk to the program. Otherwise, you need to find your way down to Olmstead for the program, which is a short drive from anywhere on our reservation. We also have challenging outdoor personal experience, as many of you might know, is COPE, which is a wonderful team building activity where we take the group of Scouts that are participating in it that week through a variety of different challenges, starting off with basic team games. We also have low ropes elements, and then by the end of the week, they will finish on high ropes elements, where they're doing a variety of exciting obstacles and elements that allow them to push their personal limits, step outside of their comfort zone and really learn how to do so with the team. Also at that area, we've got climbing, where we offer the climbing merit badge. We've got a beautiful climbing tower there, and it's an amazing program for all your Scouts who are into rock climbing and all. This is a great program. The staff that runs this, I mean, all of our staff is amazing, but the staff that runs this program area is very, very enthusiastic about it, and it is a wonderful opportunity for those Scouts that have maybe done some more of the traditional camp merit badges and haven't yet gotten a chance to do climbing. We also have our Goshen Vets program. This one is based out of Camp Bowman. This is for Scouts who have maybe been around the traditional residential summer camp experience for a few years now, and they're maybe looking to shake it up from the regular schedule of merit badges and want to add in some different experiences. This is a relatively customizable program that allows these Scouts to do new things that otherwise aren't on the schedule or aren't offered to the general public or the general Scout signing up to take a merit badge at Goshen. I think they've got some exciting overnighters planned, always trying to do some maybe longer boating excursions, various different things, all sorts of fun activities. And the most important thing is that we try to customize it each week to what the Scouts that are taking the program that particular week want to do. Moving on to Camp Catoctin BSA. Camp Catoctin BSA is an amazing program that we offer. It is one of the few nationally accredited Scouts BSA summer programs in the country that is run entirely by volunteers, and they're all experts in their field. It is a very, very exciting opportunity, and they are adding a few new badges this year in addition to a long roster of badges that they are already offering. They are adding 4 new ones: climbing, healthcare professions, which in itself is a very new merit badge, movie making, and public health. All right, those are all new this year, and the volunteers who run and put together this camp do an absolutely amazing job. It only runs for 1 week, as we mentioned on a previous slide, and it is one heck of a week. We also have the Scout Specialty Program at Snyder. As you all might know, Camp Snyder is where we run a Webelos camp, or a Webelos and other Cub Scout activities. But for 1 week, they do a whole 180, and they offer a Scouts BSA program. And at this program, it is all provisional, so you don't have to worry about the hassle or the logistics of signing up with an entire unit. Scouts can do it on an individual basis. We've got Michael's Woodshop program there, which is very exciting. And they have a first-year program, which they're introducing this year, which is similar to how first-year programs operate at Goshen, if you are familiar with those. And we are expanding that to the Scout Specialty Program at Snyder this summer. All these programs are great. We hope that you're going to join us for one of these this summer, but we know that you have some scouts that are highly motivated, and 1 week of summer camp is not going to cut it for them. So that's why we've got some great options at various locations other than just Goshen, so that your scouts can get multiple chances to earn some badges and be in the outdoors if they want to this summer. Obviously, on everybody's mind, COVID protocols for the summer, a lot less intensive, I will say, than last summer. Some basics that I want to hit on tonight. First, we will not be using the cohort system this summer. If you camped with us last summer, you might remember that we had the system in place. We're not using it this summer, so I'm not going to go in depth describing it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't have to worry about it, but we will just be signing up for badges regularly this summer. Masks will be encouraged, but optional this summer. Bus transportation to Goshen will be returning this year. If you're not familiar with what this is, we charter buses to take people from Northern Virginia to Goshen, so you don't have to worry about organizing a car caravan to get your unit down to camp this summer. And that's just an added fee on your registration if you all are interested in using that bus option. And you also don't have to worry about getting that lovely Goshen dust all over your cars if you bus down to camp. Any other details about our COVID protocols, we are still finalizing, and we will update you all as soon as we have more information on them. And we are, of course, monitoring all the state and national guidelines, and we are going to update our policies if need be. If the situation gets a lot worse, which hopefully it doesn't, we will appropriately respond. So that's our basics for what we're looking at for COVID this summer. Switching topics real quick, if you are also planning for a Cub Scout unit, or somebody who is planning for a Cub Scout unit, I also want to mention that next Monday at this time, we're going to be having one of these webinars all about Cub Scout camping. So if you or somebody is planning for that as well, please join us next Monday for that webinar. That's all the information that I have that I want to share with you all. So at this point, we will start taking questions, and Sarah will select and read through questions that you all can type out and send in the chat, and then and one of us will answer depending on who the best person is to answer that question.
In case anyone is looking for where to ask their questions, there's a Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen, so you can just type your questions there.
Thank you.
This one's a me question. When are payments due? So this will be for different camps. For Goshen, it would be great if you paid before you got to camp. that's always ideal. The major deadline to keep in mind is April 15th is the early bird deadline. So after that date, prices will increase. For other camps, I'll turn it over to Kurt for Camp Catoctin BSA. When are payments due?
So we start with the deposit when registration opens, which we believe will be April 1st. And they're due, I believe the final payment is due at the beginning of July. The sooner you make full payment, the sooner you'll have access to scheduling the merit badges that you want. Thank you.
All right, and Dave, how does it work at Camp Snyder?
So we're following a lot very similar to Goshen. The early bird is until April 16th. And like Kurt said, excuse me, paying certainly helps you get your merit badges you want. So signing up early, we'll start merit badge registration here in the next 2 to 3 weeks as we get the systems online. But as far as payment wise, April 16th, the price goes up.
All right, let's those over to our Scouts BSA folks. Are there size limits on any of the merit badge sessions?
So I'll answer this one.
Please go ahead.
All right, so yes, we do have some size constraints on our merit badge instruction. We have size constraints for one of 2 reasons. One, we want to ensure that no class is getting overly large, because that is a disadvantage to everybody taking that class. If we allow 30 or 40 people to sign up for a badge, it would just quickly degrade the quality of instruction that would be possible there. So we do have a cap in place to ensure that no badges are getting too big. And then we also have some badges that have a little bit smaller, more sensitive constraints due to either equipment or size. For our welding merit badges, we can't have numerous people welding at once. We don't have a 16 station welding range or something like that. And certain badges, like at our tech center, we are limited by the number of computers that we have, or boats that we can have, how many people can be kayaking at once. Those are the kind of constraints. And when you all go in to register for your badges, those caps will be shown there, so you can see how many spots are left and everything.
Dave, did you want to answer that as well?
Yeah, thanks. The just like Tom said, it really depends on the badge itself. We did not want it to be overloaded, but it really depends on the badge. For example, Michael's Wood Shop with the woodworking merit badge, you can only have so many people in the shop safely. With the shooting sports merit badges, you can only have so many spots on the range. But then we have citizenship. The Eagle required citizenship badges. All 3 of those, those can be a little bit larger. So it just really depends. What we did last year is if we had a big draw for a particular merit badge, we looked at if we could get an instructor. We looked at having a second session to ensure that the folks were able to get the badges they wanted. Thanks.
Kurt, how does it work at Camp Catoctin? You're on mute.
Yeah, thank you. We're very similar. Most classes are in the 10 to 12 scout range. There are certain classes that are limited in size because of the number of stations. Thanks.
All right, our next question, will there be any additional cost for programs located at other camps? So for the Goshen camps, there aren't any additional costs for programs located at other camps. So things like vets, there is a cost for ATV, and there is a cost for shotgun. And if you're going to Camp Olmstead, there is a cost for robotics, but those are the only ones with a class fee. How about over at Camp Catoctin? Do you all have any class fees?
Yeah, so there is certain fees associated with classes. I believe robotics is one. There's also for shotgun, there may be a couple others. And there are also prerequisites for various merit badges that you need to complete before you come to camp. Thanks.
And Dave, how about Camp Snyder?
Very similar to the others. We don't have any additional fees. We roll those fees into everyone's price. There's nothing additional for folks. There are, like Kurt said, there are prerequisites for particular merit badges. So the extent of those prerequisites being completed before the scout comes to camp is it better guarantees they will earn their badge coming out.
All right. Next question. How much is the extra fee for bus transportation? So that is going to be $70 for the round trip. So next question is for Talbot over at Camp Marriott. Is there going to be the honor troop? I assume the honor or competition this summer at Camp Marriott.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be having that this summer. So something to look forward to.
All right, and our next question is just looking for more detail on the Goshen Vets program. Avery, could you speak more about the Goshen Vets program?
Yes. So the Goshen Vets program is designed specifically for anyone aged 14 through 17 who has been with sort of at Bowman or Goshen for a while, has been through a lot of the merit badges already, and is looking to experience all of the aspects of Goshen Scout Reservation that they may not really have gotten the chance to do so before. Think of it like you're sampling the best parts of every area and every camp through this program. So you might do a couple of Hoxton outposts. You might do a couple of activities throughout different areas that you only got the chance to do once in one specific merit badge. And rather than taking the entire merit badge, you can just do that specific activity. So for example, instead of taking the entirety of Pioneering Merit Badge to build a really cool project like a trebuchet or something like that, you can just take the Vets program and you can go and do that activity. As for what the program is all about, the vets all arrive generally at Bowman or whatever location the activity is going to. On the first day, we have a list that is up on Goshen's website now of possible program activities that all the scouts can do. That will lay out for you and your scouts what options we have available. This is very much so a living document. So, we talk a lot about like the choice of the scouts in creating their own program. We want to maintain that and give them the choice of doing whatever they want on that list and anything else they can think of to best enjoy themselves in their time at camp. So I hope that answered your question. But if there are any other follow-up questions about the Vets program, I'd be happy to answer them. I think I did see a question about how to sign up. I believe there's going to be a sign up for merit badge registration or something on our Black Pug system at the very least that will register your scout for that program. And then your scout will show up on the first day at the Vets program at Camp Bowman. And then from there, they will create their program.
That takes us into one of the other questions, which is on March 31st, and I think it's the same at Camp Snyder, we will be opening merit badge registration. So, Kurt, when do you all open merit badge signups at Camp Catoctin BSA?
So we open registration on April 1st for campers. We open merit badge registration once the unit has paid the full fee. So there's no set date on that, Sarah.
All right. What activities beyond ATV have age minimums? At Goshen, none of our badges none of the programs aside from ATV have age minimum requirements. We have some that are recommended for older scouts or recommended for younger scouts, but ATV is the only one that has an age requirement. How about
And
you all over at
if I
Camp
could-
Snyder? Oh, go
Sarah,
ahead,
if I could
Tom.
jump in there. One thing that we get a question about are certain badges, like maybe shotgun shooting or something like that, where some camps handle this by having a age minimum. What's more important for something like that is both physical size and maturity as well. So somebody who is, shotguns have a little more kickback than 22 rifles or the air rifles that scouts might be familiar with. So it's hard to put an age on that. That's why we don't put an age on it. So that's all.
Dave, do you all have any badges with age recommendations or age requirements over at Camp Snyder?
That's a really great question. And we actually, in our senior planning team, talked about that last month. We continue to look at it. At this point, we don't think there is an age, but much like Tom said, some of those merit badges, it really takes, it's not necessarily the, sometimes it's the stature of the individual, right, that makes it important. And sometimes the content of the merit badge. So I think that's where the parent comes in and where the scout leader for the unit comes in and helps that youth select the right merit badge so they can really get the most out of it. We have some really incredible instructors and that we want to take advantage of, and we want the scouts to get the most they possibly can. So really look for the parents to help their scouts select those badges that are appropriate for their learning.
And Kurt, how about at Camp Catoctin?
We're pretty much the same as everybody else. There's no real age restrictions. Again, shotgun, it's really physical size and maturity, although we've had some small statured people be very good with a shotgun and shooting clay pigeons. So there it is.
All right, next question. How quickly have classes historically filled up when registration is open, and which programs historically have filled up first? So let's just go camp by camp. Tom, what do you see fill up the fastest at Olmstead?
So that is a great question. I can tell you that our #1 most popular merit badge is swimming merit badge. I think this is in part because of the fact that the lake is heated and is often compared to the waters of Fiji and Tahiti. But it's a very quite popular badge. Also, some of our badges that do have smaller constraints to them, such as maybe shotgun shooting or robotics, and also small boat sailing, things like that tend to fill up as well as kayaking as well. Kayaking's really grown in popularity over the years.
All right, how about over at Camp Bowman?
For us, our welding program is incredibly popular. We always have scouts, like those classes are maxed out almost every summer. Our water skiing program, which is coming back for the water sports merit badge, is always usually pretty full. So I'd recommend signing scouts up for that early. And both of those are similar to shotgun shooting. We recommend older scouts for both of those. Outside of that, shotgun is also fairly popular amongst our scouts. And so is sailing merit badge. So be sure to sign up for all those as soon as you can.
All right, we'll jump states. How about at Camp Catoctin?
At Camp Catoctin, it varies from year to year, so it's just really hard to predict what's going to be popular the particular year. So the only thing I can say is get in early, pay early, and sign up. Thanks.
All right, Talbot, how about at Camp Marriott? What fills up the fastest there?
Yeah, I'll second, I guess, what some of the other Goshen camps have been saying. Those popular ones are stuff like swimming, water sports, shotgun. And then specifically over at Marriott, a lot of the badges in our guild area fill up pretty quick. So welding like Bowman, metalworking, woodworking, stuff like that. So definitely check those out and register when you can.
All right, and Dave, how about, you all are only in your second year, but what did you notice last year that filled up real quick?
It's certainly the ones that have the size, the tight size limits are going to fill up quickly. Michael's wood shop with woodworking merit badge will fill up quickly. We had a waiting list. A lot of the others, we saw a really nice spread across the entire registration. So we were able to move, get most folks in the badges they wanted. And if we had to open extra sessions, we did that as well. And a couple of merit badges, not many. So it's pretty spread, but I would echo what Kurt said. Sign up now and you can get your choice going in.
All right, this is a question for you, Tom. Where can I get more information on the Trails Head program? You're muted.
So that is a great question. You can get more info on the Trails Head program on the Camp Olmsted page of gotogoshen.org. There we've got our Trails Head program schedule as well as some descriptors as well. The basic gist of the Trails Head program is that your scouts will either be with our Trails Head program staff for either the morning or the afternoon, one of the two times, and that's when they'll be working on various scout skills, outdoor skills, practicing some things for rank advancement, and then the other half of their day is up to them to do whatever merit badges they want on their own, up to 3 merit badges. We leave this up to the scouts. I don't say we leave this up to the scouts fully on what badges that they want to take. We used to kind of offer, a more fixed schedule of badges, but we found that, we find it works best. We just let the scouts pick what they are most interested in. So that's how it works. And gotogoshen.org is really just for all of your questions. Also, I want to tell you, Sarah and everybody at the council works really hard. We try to put as much info as possible. So after this webinar, if you all have unanswered questions, it's really an amazing, very in-depth website. I think I know a lot of different Scouts BSA camps across the country. We have a very, very robust website where hopefully you all can find answers to your questions if you don't get them answered tonight. So, yeah.
I'll say with that as well, the downloads page is a great place to look for stuff like the program schedule, prerequisites for merit badges. Those will be all listed in some of the documents you can find on there. And there are camp specific ones as well. So definitely, if you want to have your own copy of it, you can find it there.
All right. Please tell us about the forms of payment you accept. So I think this is across the board for all our camps. We accept e-checks, so EFT, and we also accept credit cards. But if you're using the system we're all using, there is a 3% convenience fee, just so you're aware. And then we'll go on to another question about merit badge scheduling. Can I get one of you folks to talk about how to schedule an A or a B? What does the A or B mean on that? And if you could also include talking about the shooting sports, part 1 and part 2, that would be great.
Yeah, I'd be happy to answer that. So A and B are referring to specific, specific like times of the day that these blocks are occurring. So swimming A occurs at 9 o'clock, swimming B occurs at 10 o'clock, and swimming C occurs at 11 o'clock. As for shooting sports, that's a little bit different. So the question is how they ask specific or how they pertain specifically to shooting sports.
I can answer that part if you'd like, Avery.
Sure.
Yeah, so we have part, if you look, if you see one of our program schedules, this is the case at Olmsted and Bowman. I believe it's also the case at Marriott, but don't quote me on that. Talbot, you can at the end of this say whether or not this also applies to Marriott. If you see, for example, Rifle A has parts 1 and 2. Part 1 starts at 9 a.m. and then part 2 starts in the first session of the afternoon, which the time of that changes depending on which camp you're at, because we run on slightly different schedules based on meals. But the reason, and they go to both part 1 and part 2 for Rifle A. So if your scout is signed up for Rifle A, they go to part 1 in the morning and they go back for part 2 in the afternoon. I know this is weird that they go at 2 different times. And the reason for this is because of weather. Virginia, in the summer, we get a lot of afternoon thunderstorms. So we want to make sure that we have time in the afternoon where they are learning more of the requirements that don't involve the actual shooting of firearms in the afternoons, and also shooting time as weather and time permits. And then in the mornings, a little bit more of a safer guaranteed time to shoot without thunderstorms. If you all are not familiar, if there's thunder or lightning, we cannot be in the water or be using our coping climbing elements or be doing any of our shooting sports activities for 30 minutes after the last thunder or lightning. So that sometimes does delay us in the afternoons that we have that added time in the morning. And Talbot can tell you if that is also the case at Marriott or not.
Yeah, so we do the same setup where we've got the first half of the class in the morning and second half in the afternoon. And like Tom said, that gives us the flexibility. If it's raining in the morning, we can have them shoot in the afternoon or vice versa. So that's something new we're doing this year. And we think it's going to work out well.
Another component of it as well is it ensures that your scouts are going to be going and like taking time to shoot. Before, if you were in the merit badge, you had to arrive to open shoot, which is a first come, first served basis. By allotting time throughout our program to give the people in the merit badges time to shoot, that gets us a lot more people completes on the merit badges.
All right, next question is asking about prerequisites. So instead of asking Tom to list all the badges that don't have prerequisites at Olmstead, this will be more of a choose your own adventure you can find the list of all the prerequisites, age recommendations, any merit badges that have costs and what those costs are, whether the Eagle required or not. That is all in the program and prerequisites guide for Goshen camps. Oh, our slideshow ran away.
Oh, that's my bad. Oh, that's my bad. There we go.
So you can find that on the Goshen website. Go to goshen.org under the forms and downloads. That'll be in the Scouts BSA general download section. It will be that. Kurt, where do you all at Camp Catoctin put your prerequisites?
So the prerequisites are listed on our website. I'm sorry, I don't have that memorized. I'm old school. But you can find them there in the recommended age, suggested ages. And I believe you can go through the camping page at NCAC.
I think it might be campcatoctinbsa.org, if I remember correctly.
See, you're of the very digital capable group. Thank you.
And we'll have the links to all of our websites posted along with the recording of this and the slides on weownadventure.com, which is the NCAC blog. Dave, how about at Snyder, where do you all put your prerequisites for people to find?
Yeah, thanks very much. Those are listed on Blackpug when they register. We'll use the Blackpug tool.
Excellent.
And those will be constantly updated as we work through our instructors.
All right, I'm seeing a bunch of questions about pre-camp swim checks. Can I get one of you Goshen folks to talk about pre-camp swim checks?
Yeah. So last summer, in order to sort of reduce the number of people that we'd have at the waterfront on a regular basis, we instituted pre-camp swim checks. So those were highly encouraged last summer. And you are still able to do pre-camp swim checks. I think it varies for the specific camp that you're going to. Speaking specifically for Bowman, we don't encourage, like, you can still definitely do pre-camp swim checks as long as you have a properly certified guard to sign off if those checks have been done. We encourage you to now take them at camp. A component of the swim checks is for our guards and staff to familiarize ourselves with all the scouts in camp, which we're not able to fully do that if we're taking the word of another guard. So if we see someone who, just barely passed the swim check, we'll be able to see that. But if you are interested in doing pre-camp swim checks, that is still an option, and you can email Sarah Moses separately, and you'll be able to get that all squared away, or email the camp that you're specifically referring to. If anyone else has anything to elaborate on that, please do.
For the Snyder Camp, we're actually having, Snyder hosts a couple of, as I understand, swim checks during the summer. And we are also going to hold on Sunday afternoon, and we'll publish the time. It's during our check-in time. So the overnight campers, the unique thing with the Snyder specialty camp is we have the program for both the youth can come, the scout can come and stay overnight all week, or they can come in the morning, and it's a day only. So they come in the morning and go home in the afternoon, go home in the evening. So for the campers, we do allow the swim checks on Sunday afternoon if they don't have those previously.
Kurt, how do you all handle swim checks?
Swim checks are an important part of camp safety, and our aquatics instructors like to see the skills demonstrated. But our camp is also redoing our aquatics program, so I'll make sure that the requirements are posted on the website. Thanks, Sarah.
Excellent. All right, this is a question about registration. So this is a me question. For units that if you're getting ready to add other campers to your registration, but your week says sold out, that means sold out 2 new units. As long as you have your deposit scout down at Goshen, you can continue to add people up to the number that you told us in your estimated youth and adults when you put it in your registration contact information. So you can still go in and add people, just make sure you're adding them to your registration. And if you need to add more people, or you're not bringing as many people as you thought you were, you can either update that on your registration, or especially if you're adding people, shoot us a quick email and let us know. And that way we can see if we can squeeze those other folks in. But as long as it's the number you were originally estimating or close thereabouts, you're all good to go. All right, and if anyone has any other questions, make sure to put them in the Q&A box down below.
If there's no other questions, could I add something real quick?
Sure, and then I think I've got a question for you.
Okay. Oh, well, how about that question for me first then, and then
All right, it's a question about dining halls. Are we doing 2 meal shifts?
No, despite how much everybody loved them last summer, we will not be doing 2 meal shifts in our dining hall. We will be accommodating everybody at one meal shift for breakfast and dinner, and we will continue with our open lunch format like we've had last summer and previous summers as well.
Oh,
And
go ahead.
Another question?
Yeah, I think this one's a me question though.
Okay.
It's about a scout needing to be paid in full before registering for merit badges. Yes, that's true at all the Goshen camps, Camp Snyder, and at Camp Catoctin. You need to be paid in full before you can sign up for merit badges.
Okay. Also, I would like to talk about 2 different things here. The first thing I would like to mention is that if you have scouts in your troop who have done summer camp many years now, or maybe have even done, and tried out our other excellent programs such as Camp Catoctin BSA and our special week at Snyder, they've done Goshen Vets, or they're just looking for a new challenge. I would like to plug that we are still hiring for a few instructors at Camp Olmstead. instead of a 1 week of summer camp that they pay for, we will pay them to work for up to 6.5 weeks of summer camp. And it's an absolutely amazing experience. I know Talbot, Avery, and myself all started this when we were around 15 or so years old, and been doing it since then. And it's really an amazing experience for youth. They can apply online to staff at gotogoshen.org, which brings me into my second point, that like I said earlier, the website is really full of a lot of information. And Sarah and Eric are they manage all of the camping programs for all of NCAC. They are deeply overburdened people. I want to advocate for them on how much work that they have to do. So I ask, if you all have questions, we will always gladly entertain your emails, but please check the website first for answers. We do try to put as much info as possible on the website beforehand, so that way you guys can find answers to your questions yourselves. And then also, if you're contacting us, unfortunately, this is not a year-round job. For me being the Olmsted camp director, is not a year-round job. So we are all volunteers. So we get to it as fast as we can, but we unfortunately do not get to do this full-time year-round. So please keep that in mind with your communications. Please check the website first. We always will answer more questions, but thank you.
All right, and we've got a couple more questions that came in. Tom, can you describe open lunch at Olmstead?
Yeah, that's a great question. So open lunch at Olmstead, what that means is, for that hour and a half time frame that we have off for lunch at Olmstead, you can head to the dining hall and you can pick up your food. All your food is in a milk crate ready to go, and you can do one of two things. One, you can just sit down at tables in the dining hall and have your lunch with your troop there. Or two, you can take it back to your campsite and have lunch there, or you can head to wherever you want to eat in camp, as long as you clean up your trash after yourself, and you don't leave food out. You can take your lunch and eat it anywhere. You don't have to eat inside the dining hall, and the meal doesn't have a regulated start time where we have everybody meet up before the meal and everything like that. Just starting at noon, you can arrive to the dining hall, get your food, eat there, or take it somewhere else and eat with your troop.
All right, and this is a campsite question. So we'll go through Goshen, Snyder, and Catoctin BSA. So if you have adults that require a CPAP machine, how does that work? Or rather, how should they let us know?
That was a great question. So in your registrations, in addition to where you can put in for food allergies and other medical concerns like that, there's a field for other medical concerns, and this is a place where you can let us know that you have 1 leader or 2 people or however many that have CPAP machines and will be needing a electrical hookup that week. I'll tell you, and if you let us know there, we're going to make sure we can accommodate you. We have a few campsites that are close enough to buildings where we can run a direct wired connection, or we can use a portable battery. If you have a battery pack of your own, we recommend this, so that way you can you don't need to rely on us, but we can certainly accommodate you if you do not have kind of a battery reserve. And if you do have a battery reserve for your CPAP machine, we will offer obviously charging for it as well if it needs to be recharged during the week.
Kurt, how about over at Camp Catoctin?
Yeah, we're similar on the medical form. Please let us know. You can also drop a email to the camp director or program directors to let us know as a secondary channel. We are in the National Park Service, and we actually have real power there. So just let us know, and power's there. You might need an extension cord. Thanks.
And Dave, I know you all don't really have adult leaders coming, but if people have specific campsite needs or medical concerns, how should they let you know at Camp Snyder?
Well, we do have adult leaders. In fact, any adult that, so for the overnight programs, excuse me, the scouts staying overnight, we have to have at least 2 adults in every campsite, right, to provide the health and safety. So we asked for volunteers to do that. Not only do they get to volunteer their time that week, but we'll pick up their camp fee. So that's a pretty neat deal. The as far as CPAP and other medical needs, I would echo my colleagues to put that on the medical forms, dropping Sarah a note so that we can make sure that we have people squared away. All the campsites at Snyder are fairly close to bathhouses, and some of those campsites actually have power, so we can accommodate folks with CPAP needs. But I would certainly would appreciate knowing that ahead of time to make sure that we've got folks taken care of.
All right, and this one's starting at Olmsted, but good question for everyone. What is the Wi-Fi situation like for adults that might need to answer emails during the week?
So that is a great question. The Wi-Fi is limited. It exists, but it is limited. All right, we do have free Wi-Fi for the adults to use during their week if they need to do a little bit of work. And the big caveat here is that it is slow and it is limited, and there's not much that we can do about it. We do not have hardwired internet at Goshen Scout Reservation. So there's no DSL, there's no FiOS, there's no nothing. We only have hotspot devices that pull off of the Verizon cellular network and then create a weak Wi-Fi hotspot. That's how we do all of our work down at camp for all of our administrative tasks and for adults there. So please do not plan on any video conferences or streaming HBO or anything like that. It's going to be good for a few emails, things like that. And Verizon at Camp Olmstead is the only cell carrier that provides reliable, consistent coverage. Some other cell carriers do get spotty coverage, and if you find a certain white ash tree by site 11, I hear that T-Mobile gets some service there, but otherwise it's a little spotty without Verizon.
All right, how about at Camp Snyder? What's the Wi-Fi situation like?
Yeah, better than in the past. I am told this year, and I haven't tried it out myself, but I'm told that a couple of the buildings are now wired or will be wired by summer for Wi-Fi. I think that's Eric is shaking his head. The dining hall, as I remember, has been upgraded.
That is correct. We tested it out this last weekend at National Camp School, and I can tell you that the Wi-Fi is working very well at Rich Dining Hall.
That's spectacular. So we had a few adults last year that were serving as our overnight ASMs, or even the merit badge counselors themselves, and they were working from doing some of their work, pay the mortgage work there at camp, either with hotspots. But now we have the Wi-Fi to make that a lot easier, a lot more efficient. So again, would love to have adults come out and help us with counseling for merit badges, and also as the overnight ASMs. And bring your work with you.
And Kurt, what's the Wi-Fi like at Camp Catoctin?
Well, we are out in nature, so our story is much the same, that it's sort of there. There is a tower that we visually can sight. So we hotspots are also worked around. I'll also point out that we are very close to the presidential retreat called Camp David. So should somebody show up, there's lots of other federal agencies all grabbing that same tower. So it gets exciting. Our recommendation, bring a great book, enjoy the fresh air.
And Dave, you may have mentioned this before, but if people want to volunteer to be an adult volunteer for the week, where should they sign up for that?
Drop Sarah a note, or drop a note to the Camp Snyder, and we'll get you in the right direction. Another benefit of that is if an adult volunteers, not only is their fee free, there's also a discount for their youth. So again, love to have the volunteers.
This one's for Tom. Are there going to be Olmsted Olympics again this year?
Hi, Kevin. How are you doing? Thank you for the question. Yes, we will have Olmsted Olympics again this year. We'll be returning it with a variety of different activities. We'll make sure we keep the favorites and rotate in some new activities for the Scouts as well. And for those of you who do not know what Olmsted Olympics is, that is on Friday afternoon after our merit badge activities have wrapped up for the week. We'll have a time period where the Scouts can participate in a camp-wide event, competing with their unit or groups within their unit against other troops in a variety of different challenges and games that help earn them points towards being Troop of the Week.
All right, it looks like we're coming up on 8 o'clock, so probably time for us to wrap this up. If you have questions that we didn't get a chance to answer, or if you think of questions after the fact, feel free to send us an email or check out our websites. So that's go to Goshen.org for Goshen. That's Camp Catoctin BSA for Camp Catoctin BSA, and go to Snyder for the Scout Specialty Week at Snyder. So any other closing remarks that anyone has?
You can find our individual camps emails on go to Goshen.org if you are trying to contact specifically somebody at Goshen, if you have a question about our programs or how we kind of operate within the individual camps. If you have a question about your registration or costs, fees, paying for people adding more, stuff like that, those questions can be directed towards Sarah. And we look forward to seeing you all at our respective camps this summer. Thank you all for joining us.
Again, like Tom said, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight. As you can see, we've got an excited and passionate staff ready and waiting for your Scouts to come to camp. If you do have any questions, feel free to let us know. And with that being said, don't forget about next week. We will be offering our Cub Scout webinar. And with that being said, everyone have a wonderful night. Thank you.